Welcome back to the Lesbian News. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, of course, is our special edition of the Lesbian News, where at the beginning of the month, we talk about all the women loving women TV shows and movies that are coming out in the next month. So today we're going to talk about what's coming out in July 2022. Let's get into it. So first of all, we're going to go over all the TV shows and movies that are coming out in July. And then at the end, I'm going to do a mini little update on Generation Q and what has been going on set regarding filming and all of that jazz. So let's get into our shows and movies. The first one I wanted to mention is Thor, Love and Thunder, because this is going to be a big movie. It's going to be a big summer blockbuster because, of course, it's a Marvel movie. But a lot of people, especially a lot of women, are really excited to see this movie because Natalie Portman is actually playing Thor, a version of Thor. And she's really had to work hard for this role. She has completely transformed and been doing crazy workouts for this role. So she's looking great.
Very, very impressive what you did back there.
It's just my first bad guy.
Never forget your first.
And also in the movie is one of my favorites, Tessa Thompson. She's of course playing Valkyrie, and Tessa Thompson herself says that she plays the character as a bisexual, and we are given kind of hints of that, but they've never outright confirmed it. And also there's a lot of people that obviously would really love to see that and are hoping to see that in this movie. But I just don't know whether they'll go down that road and actually confirm it. I think it might be a bit more queer baiting, if I'm honest, because I also haven't heard anything about the movie being banned in other countries, which usually you start to hear it a few weeks before it comes out. Because I mean, I used to manage a movie theater. Like, you get those movies a couple of weeks in advance and they'll like have staff screenings and things like that. So that movie will be getting into the hands of theaters probably yesterday. Most of the movies come Tuesday and then you work on the Wednesday, Thursday. They're there for the Thursday night or Friday release. So I don't think that anything, major is going to be happening, but maybe there's some dialogue or something, and hopefully something happens in the future, because I think it'd be so great in these movies that's so popular to have something for us, So Thor, Love and Thunder is coming out in theaters July 8th. Next up is a new movie from Amazon Prime, and that is One Up, and it's starring Ruby Rose.
It wasn't long ago that video games were marketed entirely to a generation of guys. But now, gamers are everyone.
Originally, Elliot Page was actually cast in this role in, I believe, October 2020, and then Ruby Rose was recast in the role. And the movie is actually about an esports team. Vivian, an esports player, is awarded a scholarship at Barrett University, and it isn't uncommon to encounter sexism in this field. So there's very few or no women that play in esports. And because it's a male-dominated school team, Vivian doesn't really fit in, and the other male players don't really believe in her abilities. So Vivian decides to make her own team made up of only women. So it looks like a cute little, girl power movie. And as I said, Ruby Rose is in it, so I'm hoping for some LGBTQ-ness in the movie. But it's coming out on July 15th on Amazon Prime. Next up is another Amazon project, and that is Paper Girls. Paper Girls follows the story of 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls set in Stony Stream, a fictional suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. And as the girls are out delivering papers the morning after Halloween, the town is struck by an invasion from mysterious forces from the future. The girls become unwillingly caught up in the conflict between two warring factions of time travelers. This is kind of a niche that I really like. I do like unique stories that are a little bit sci-fi, and time travel always something that I enjoy. So I'm definitely going to check this one out, and it will be out on Amazon Prime on July 29th. Also new this month is the second half of season 4 of Stranger Things. And Stranger Things is a mega hit on Netflix. It's one of their most popular shows, and people were really excited to have it back after nearly 3 years between seasons 3 and 4. So there's only 2 episodes for the second half of season 4, but they are really long. One of them is over an hour and a half. So if you haven't seen Stranger Things, I definitely advise catching up. It's a show that's set in the 1980s in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana. The show centers around numerous supernatural events occurring in the town, specifically around this alternate reality called the Upside Down. The cast of Stranger Things is pretty big, and there's some really great performances in there. One of the characters is played by Maya Hawke, who is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. And Maya is playing a character called Robin, who last season came out as gay. And we haven't had too much focus on that because they've been caught up chasing the supernatural events. But we're hoping that we'll get a little bit more going on with Robin in the second half of season 4. Regardless of the fact that Stranger Things has a lesbian character, that's just kind of the cherry on top, because it's a really great show and I highly recommend catching up so you can enjoy the 4th season second half when it comes out this Friday, July 1st on Netflix. And there's also some shows continuing in July that feature women loving women storylines, characters, and that would be The Boys on Amazon Prime again. That has episodes coming out on Fridays every week. And there's also Westworld on HBO Max. They had their premiere last Sunday, and they have new episodes every single week too. Also on HBO Max is Irma Vep, which has new episodes coming out every week. Also continuing this month is The Umbrella Academy on Netflix. And we also have Motherland Fort Salem, which has new episodes coming out on Tuesdays throughout July. And you can find Motherland Fort Salem on Freeform in the US. If you are outside of the US, I suggest using a VPN. You can actually go down to the description box and I have an affiliate link with ExpressVPN. And if you use that, you'll get a couple of free months. The final show we're going to talk about before we move on to our Generation Q Season 3 update is Only Murderers in the Building. And this show has received some lackluster reactions on social media when Selena Gomez and Cara Delevingne had their kiss and beginning of their relationship the past episode. So despite those lukewarm reactions, the show is continuing this month, releasing new episodes on Hulu. So let's get into our little mini Generation Q update, but also there may be some other July releases. I will add those to lesbian news next week. It's just because it's summer also. I think it's a bit quiet, but let's talk Gen Q Season 3. The show is currently filming episode 3. Yes, they've moved on to episode 3. They're still finishing episode 2 with them even doing a night shoot last night that they've just wrapped a few hours ago. And episode 3 has a new director, and that is M. Weinstein. And they have never directed the Our Generation Q before, but they did write the premiere of the new A League of Their Own series that's coming out in August. So I'm sure they'll do an awesome job. And also is a first timer on Gen Q is the cinematographer this episode. That's Dani Gruens. They are the new cinematographer pair with alum Moira Morel, who did the first 2 seasons of Gen Q. With the cinematography for Generation Q, they kind of switch on and off between the episodes, so they each do about half of the season. and that's what they're doing now. So this is the first time that Dani has done an episode, and he has previously worked on projects with Marsha Lewis Ryan, The Four-Faced Liar, and he also worked on her project that's in post-production right now called Liked, that did also star Jack Tobani. It seems we are going to get a decent amount of OG scenes in these first couple of episodes, because along with the pictures that we physically saw of the OGs filming their scenes, we did have Kate and Leisha talking about the fact that they filmed a lot of scenes together in the past couple of weeks, and they were saying that on their podcast Pants. So that's everything that's going on with Generation Q right now. Make sure you're following me on Instagram to keep up to date with absolutely everything that's going on in the set and see pictures and all of that. Make sure you're following all my social medias and you're subscribed here so you can stay up to date with all the latest and greatest from the set of Gen Q and other women loving women news. And I'll see you all back here next week. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.